Hello and welcome to Refill with Preach Sista. I am your host, Michelle Lloyd Page, and twice a month, I invite a guest to join me in studio for conversations about wellness and how to replenish our souls when it feels like we are down to the last drop. Our conversations last about 30 minutes. Each conversation is a little different, but each one will talk about the importance of wellness and well-being. Each one will offer some helpful strategies about how to refill ourselves when it feels like we're running a little low. And of course, because this is live, there will be a healthy dose of laughter and vulnerability too. So if your spiritual or emotional cup is a little less than full and you need a refill, you're in the right place for a refill with Preach Sista. And now let's get to our show. Hello! It's so good to have you all to join us today. We have our special guest with us today, the fabulous Eboney Thompson. So, Eboney, could you tell us just a little bit about yourself?
Yes, my name is Eboney Thompson. Like she said, I am a mother of 4 beautiful children. I am CEO of my own coaching and consulting company called H&H Life and Coaching Consulting Ltd. And me and my daughter Jess are we are co-producers and co-hosts and all that kind of stuff, good stuff, of a new brand, tranquil brand called Erin Page. So
Okay.
yeah, we got a lot of good stuff going on over here, as well as all of that abundance of stuff. I call myself a breast cancer thriver on her way to ringing the bell. So,
All right.
I'm just glad to be here. I'm glad to be here on Earth and
Yes.
and be here on your show. Thank you so much.
I'm so glad that you said yes to join us on the show. And thank you for being willing to walk with me as I'm still in the process of trying to figure out how everything works. So thank you for that. I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about what makes you feel inspired or what makes you feel like your best self. As you said, I think maybe one way is even the way that you identify yourself as a breast cancer thriver, not just a survivor, but a thriver. So what else makes you feel inspired or makes you feel like you're your best self?
My children is number one. They definitely keep me on my toes. They keep me feeling young. They keep me feeling invigorated. They are like my biggest motivation and my cheerleaders. So they definitely keep me inspired. But I think just my outlook on life, being diagnosed with breast cancer, it can have a big effect on you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
people just think it's the physical effect, but what people don't really see and pay attention to is the mental part and
Okay.
the mental and the spiritual part. Because even though you may be smiling that day, you may have just went through a whole mental battle. And so you have to stay on your toes and all that kind of stuff. So I just try to always look at light with the cup being all the way full. Most people say halfway full. I say my cup is already full and it's filling over. And I feel like I got a new perspective on life. And I never say that cancer happened to me, but it happened for me because it made me look at life different. It made me look at my family dynamic different. It made me appreciate things that I may not felt like that I really kind of took for granted. And just a lot of stuff. So I just feel like I have a new perspective on life. I have a new perspective on God's grace and mercy, because for me, because I was told by the doctors like many, many times that, the first time when I initially got diagnosed, they told me that they really didn't even think I was going to make it out of the hospital.
Wow.
That's how bad I was. And to know just like 6 months ago, literally 6 months ago, as of last week, I was in the hospital with double pneumonia, had a hole in my lung, And by the grace of God, while I was in the hospital, not only did the hole heal up because I didn't have to get surgery,
Wow.
but here I am, and then my symptoms was getting worse. But here I am now. When I first got initially diagnosed, the breast was pretty much covered. I had it in 50% of both of my lungs. I had it on my bone, and now here I am sitting here talking to you with none on the bone. None on the bone. My lungs are completely clear, and we probably got like they said like maybe a $50 or a quarter size left to go in the breast. So if that's not a reason to be inspired,
yeah, I think that's a reason. I think that's a reason to feel inspired.
And then the play with the wigs, really, really helped because I can be my best self every day. It's just which self do I want to be?
And I love that you name your wigs. I love that you name your wigs, and that you are embracing that. And I have told people, friends or colleagues who have been diagnosed with cancer and going through chemo, and said, I got this friend, and she just changes up her look all the time. It's like, it's this wig today, it's another wig the next day. So that's a way to just embrace it. And our motto is, if you're gonna look anyway, might as well give you something to look at.
Yeah, and Nikki don't care today because I got on Nikki today. This is Nikki.
What helped you to embrace that, right? Because not everybody takes that route. Not everybody is comfortable with that. So what do you think really helped you to embrace this and to say, this is who I am, and not to be ashamed of it, but to say, hey, this is who I am. What do you think helped you to do that?
One, when I was diagnosed, I remember very, very well. God told me, I was like, because when they told me, I didn't bust out crying or anything. The first thing that came to my mind and what I said out loud was my kids. At the moment, nothing else mattered to me. So I was like, God, I need to be here for my kids. And I realized he had me do, he was going to have a whole another list of stuff for me to do. But hey, that's fine. But my whole thing was, I didn't want to look sick. And no offense to people who may wear like the turbans or the scarves or anything like that. It was one thing to wear them when I hadn't lost my hair, because I was used to wearing my hair short and all that kind of stuff. But it was something about, it was one thing to go to the hair salon and get it cut, but it was another thing to fall out. Literally my braids. So I was like, okay, God, now what are we gonna do? Because I can't sit around and watch myself be bowed head like this. Like, I went into deep depression. It was I was just like, I cannot do this. What is going on? So I had already pre-bought these because they had already told me that, hey, your hair is gonna fall out. And that's the thing we always see on TV.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it was, is because people don't have somebody real looking at them. Like, when you look at TV and magazines, and that's been like one of my prayers is, God, let me, because at first I wasn't going to go public with this or anything, and God told me to.
Okay.
So
okay.
And
you have inspired a lot of people because you have gone public.
Yeah, and see, now that I look back on it, I was like, see, I was trying to be selfish, and God was trying to use me. Like, but I didn't want to. I was like, I wasn't going to tell. I was like, I'm just going to tell my family and close friends. I won't be on social media or nothing like that. And God was like, no, you won't. You're going to live this thing out loud. So I was like, okay. But the only thing you really see on TV and on magazines and stuff is people with their head wrapped, and they look sick, and they look like they're like one foot in the grave and one out. And I didn't want to look like that. And so it made me, so I was like, okay, let me start and playing with these wigs. And then I was like, oh, I like this. And we're trying another one. I'm like, oh, I like this one too. So that just started. So So then next thing you know, I was once on Amazon getting house stuff. Next thing you know, because I get the majority of my wigs from Amazon. So y'all, if y'all looking for a good wig, you can just hop on Amazon because they can get you together. I started like really getting into them, and then I noticed that my moods was changing, and I started embracing. I started really looking at the outside because I was like, the outside's okay. And then so I was able to work on that inner confidence of myself.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I started really, because I used to have a thing, a book thing that I call Forever Beautiful. That was the very first name of my very first book I wrote. It was Forever Beautiful. And the whole motto was loving yourself inside out. Well, now this was the time for me to practice what I preach.
Yeah,
so I started
right.
loving myself from the inside out because I wasn't really too worried about the outside because I started looking like Ebony to a degree again. But now this gave me a chance to, like, as I start loving myself on the inside, my insides really started to, the inside personalities start to jump out. So I was like, okay, well, I could be her here one day. I could be this person one day. And if I get hot, I can just snatch it off.
I love that. I love that, you know, and yeah, thanks for reminding me that you had written that book, Forever Beauty, before all this happened. And, you know, and being sensitive to God's voice to say, no, okay, I'm going to live this out. I'm going to practice what I preach. I've told other women that they could be forever beautiful by loving themselves from the inside out. And now here was an opportunity to live that out. You probably need to do like a re-edition of the book, right? It's like,
yes. Thing is, it's crazy because the book it's called Forever Beautiful, the Love Edition.
Okay.
So I probably need to do, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you should do it. You should do, the new edition, right? Just the update, because there's been this whole new chapter to your life. And it's to say, yeah, I could talk about loving myself and loving myself from the inside out when everything was okay. But now that I have gone through the fire and have a testimony to tell, let me tell you, these are some of the things that you can expect when you are in that battle to really love yourself and when there isn't an image in front of you to model yourself after. You had to create your own image of what a breast cancer thriver looks like, because that's not the language that is used. The language is survivor that pulls all this other kind of, baggage with it. So I love that you reclaimed it. You're not trying to hide it. You're not just saying, oh, I'm just a survivor, or I'm a thriver. No, you're saying I'm a breast cancer thriver. So I want you to know my state, but I want you to know that that's not defining me, because I'm thriving in this situation.
Because when I walk in a doctor's office, I think sometimes like the patients that come in, they look and they either think that I'm there to like sell medicine. Call me back. They're looking like, and when they see the chart that they're giving me a chart to go back to take chemo, they're looking at me because I'm telling you, I walk in there with heels. I have makeup on. And granted, I have my mask on, but they can tell like I have my lashes on sometimes. I have my wigs on. And then when I walk in there with heels, they're like, yes, I'm letting you know that you can still be your best self. And this one lady told me the other day, because I had on some red heels, and she loves red. And she said, oh my gosh, your heels are so beautiful. And she said, you really wear them? I said, yes, ma'am. I'm still going to be me. I'm still going to be me. Me. And she said, honey, you have really inspired me. And next time I had saw her, she pulled down her mask a little bit and she had on some red lipstick. I haven't worn this lipstick since I was diagnosed. And I said, oh, that is so cute. Like, back up. But it was, and to know that even in the midst of just walking in there and like having a healthy attitude and being able to change somebody's life has, it inspires me to Ebony, keep doing what you're doing, just living out life. Because the same person that I'm in here right now, on here with you, I'm with my kids, and when I'm out there at the store, when I walk in the chemo, all that good stuff. So yeah.
And you are a thriver, because I am. So in this season, I have said, okay, I'm going to take a step back from Facebook just a little bit, my personal Facebook page, just in this Lenten season, just going to take a step back from that a little bit. But in following you, right? Your last picture of the shorts and the long duster and the red and black hair, like just looking at your Facebook page, say, yep, that's it. That's it. Just really, really like, yes, it's like I am here. And it is fabulous, because it is just a testimony, because you've always posted pictures of yourself in different stages, right? But I know this picture probably was a bit more special, because it was also a celebration of, I gained a little weight. I gained a little weight back, right?
I know, I'm so happy about my weight. 6 months ago, like I said, I had lost a ton of weight. I had went down to 119 pounds. I haven't been 119 pounds probably since my oldest daughter, who is 18, about to be 19, was born.
Okay.
And so most people are like, oh, that's a healthy weight. For me, I know what I'm supposed to look like. You know, the coaches and the trainers, they can say what they won't. I know what I'm supposed to look like. And when I went to the doctor and they told me, I went to the doctor Thursday and they told me I was 159.6. You see how I added that 0.6?
I see that.
When I went, I was 157. And I was like, girl, you are coming back. So when I did that shoot, I saved that outfit. So I had bought that outfit, and I was like, I had a look that I was going for. I mean, down to the boots. People was my mom was like, well, aren't you going to wear some pants? I said, no, I'm wearing shorts. And I was like, wait till you see these boots. I haven't had the on. I had bought those boots probably like 2 years ago.
Those boots are fierce.
Thank you. I had bought those boots like 2 years ago before I was diagnosed, and I was like, and I was like, this is the time. So when I put that on, and my daughter, I was like, you gotta take a full length picture, and she took that off guard. I said, there she goes.
Yeah. That was just awesome. That was
that my comeback picture, because
that is definitely a comeback picture. That is like, I'm here. Yep, I'm here. I don't care what you got to say. I am here.
I am on my reintroduction, because I feel like even though the doctors haven't said, you can ring the bell, you're healed, I feel like I've been healed from day one. I just had to go through process.
Right.
But I know that it's so close, and I feel like God has closed that door and allowed me to enter this new level and this new open chapter and this new door. And I was like, it's time to celebrate. So my whole thing is the reintroduction. So I'm working on this whole thing, this whole video, and I can't wait till everybody see it.
I can't wait. I can't wait either.
Reintroduction of me.
And I think that perhaps is something that you don't have to have a diagnosis, that where the doctors are saying, well, you need to, make sure somebody can watch your kids and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Because I think there are times when we all go through things. And when we go through and we come out on the other side and we are praising God that we made it through, and we can see how maybe even we're a bit better than when we went through, right? Because we learned some lessons, we come to appreciate ourselves. I think all of us maybe should have our reintroduction song or our reintroduction video, right? To say, no, I am still here. Let me tell you about, let me tell you the narrative of me, as opposed to you defining, you out there trying to define my narrative, trying to put me in a box. I know it wasn't quite the same kind of reintroduction of myself, but when I had turned 50, approaching it, people were like starting with all those jokes, downhill, past the prime, all that other kind of stuff. And I said, you know what? I'm going to get ahead of this. I'm going to throw myself 5 birthday parties, not one, but
That's what I'm
5 birthday
talking
parties,
right there.
one for each decade, just so you know, right? And each birthday party was something I always wanted to try, or just something different. So the first one was like a retreat, a day at the spa, girls' day spa, right? So it's at the house. Everyone, we made these spa treatments and just spa food, just kind of like enjoy, just as what it like. The second one was, I think it was a murder mystery party, because I always wanted to do one of those. And just to see, I said, we're either going to have fun because it works, or we're going to have fun because it don't work and it's just hilarious, right? So fun. And then it was a brunch, monkey business brunch, because I was collecting little stuffed monkeys at the time and I wanted an excuse to display them. That brunch lasted from 10 in the morning to like 7 in the evening, because people didn't want to leave because it was just so fun. And then it was, a chocolate to live for party, just everything. I had so much chocolate, hardcore chocoholic said this too much. So, that was a lot. Husband made some chocolate barbecue ribs. So we had savory and sweet. Oh yeah, it was on. It was on. If it was chocolate, we had it. And then the last one was a wine and cheese kind of reception, and that was the one that was actually on my birthday, because I said wine and cheese get better with age, and so do I. So I said, I'm getting ahead of this. So no, you can't tell me how I should feel turning 50. Let me tell you how I feel turning 50. I'm still here, so I'm gonna celebrate, right? So I like that kind of like reintroduce, celebrate who you are at what stage, and when you go through something, you set the terms of how you want to be known. So I really appreciate. I can't wait to see that coming out video. Reintroduction video, right? I can't wait to see that.
Because I'll be 40 this year. I'll be 40.
All right.
So, oh man, I already got like this whole birthday idea in my head. But now you really got me thinking.
And that one was over 4 months. So, it doesn't have to all be in the same month. It could, have it leading up to it or after. So yeah, you welcome to it. I might have to fly, COVID going to have to die down so I can fly out to California so I can participate in something.
Like masks, everybody, but we will be fine.
Yeah. Just something that's going to be special. So, so this is Refill with Preach Sista. How do you know when you need a refill?
My body. One of the things I have learned the most is to pay attention to my body.
Okay.
Is when my body hurts, because I do have times where my body is in so much pain, and it comes from like the chemo and the because chemo, even though it kills the cancer, it also breaks down your body parts. And then I get an injection on the days after. And the thing is, what that is for is to build up my immune system. But the bad part about it is it actually pulls from my bone marrow. And so it will cause somebody to hurt. It will cause somebody to shut down. So I have to listen very intently to my body. And then even on the days that I have it, it may, like I try to still pay attention. My energy may be low. So when those things happen, it's like, okay, Ebony, you need to sit down. Because even though in my head, thinking I'm 100% fully back, my body is like, girl, you better sit down. And the kids be like, Mama, sit down. They think they run the ball. They're like, Mama, I'm gonna sit down. Just you're not doing this today.
Okay. Well, that's good that they are there to help you remember that. Slow down a little bit. That there's another day that you can do all that. So you have your kids around you, and you are, pouring into them, helping them to be their best selves. All of them got businesses and things like that. But if you could go back in time, what would you tell your 20-year-old self?
At 20, let's see, well, I would be 19 going on 20. So, I tell my 20-year-old self, don't be afraid to live.
Okay.
And when I say that, I always, even though I was I don't like people to put me in a box.
Yeah.
Don't put me in a box. I've always been that one to break out of the box, but I still stay close to the box because the
Okay.
box is my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So, there was things that I wanted to do. There was things that I wanted to try. And then I really didn't know who God was and the voice of God. And so it would be like, hey, no, you should do this. I'm like, no, I shouldn't.
Okay.
So it
Okay.
would live, like really live more and just live more and not be afraid to live.
Oh,
Because at
that's
the
good.
end of the day, God's got your back.
Yeah.
So just to really to live and love yourself from the inside out, from the
Mm.
beginning. Because girl, you beautiful. You're gonna be beautiful. You're gonna have 4 amazing kids. And even though you're gonna go through some things, still love yourself no matter what.
Amen. Amen. That's good. That's good. I like that. That's advice we can have at any age, but I really like that. Well, Miss Ebony, we are almost to the end of our time, but I want you to talk a little bit about. So, tell us about Hustle and Heels. How did that come about?
Okay, well, as you know, I got kids have businesses. I got businesses, and so coaching and consulting because I had to have those heels there, and everybody
Yes.
knows I'm for my shoes. You seen my page, if you follow me, I love shoes. So that's where the heels come from. And so it is that portion of it is a life. So I do life coaching and small business coaching, as well as I
Okay.
help people who are wanting to start a small business but don't know where to start. I can help you out in the coaching realm, or I can be your consultant. And
Okay.
so the people that I really mainly help out is my target audience is really women who are trying to find the balance of life and business
Okay.
before they experience burnout. And so
Mm.
I have a program called Collide because I much rather you collide real soft fender instead of like that big huge crash. And so I help them find that balance between life and business to where they're not burning themselves out on life and like trying to stress out. And because when you stress, then you start having body issues and health issues.
Yeah.
It's not good. And then you affect your business too, because business is life and life is business, and they merge.
Yeah.
So that's how H&H, Hustle and Heels came. And then a mentors program is coming up soon. And then, like I said, I'm my daughter. So this is
Yes.
baby. Wait a minute. Okay.
Yep.
Something
We
like
can see it.
that. It is a tranquil beauty line. And because as I've been going through this, my skin is very sensitive. So I can't just go buy bath bombs at the store or
Okay.
anything like that. So we came up with a tranquil beauty line, and so now we make um, homemade bath bombs, so linen sprays. That's what's on the shelf right now. Um, we are selling boxes, and we sell them individually. I have a website that you can go to as well, and when we launch April the 12th, I have it
Okay.
announced. We officially launched April 12th, and we got some more good stuff that's coming.
Okay.
And I have a line coming specifically for breast cancer patients or people who are going through cancer, because our skins are super, super sensitive, and so we can't use a lot of products and different stuff that's on the shelves. So I have that coming. I'm actually testing some more stuff later on today. I love being tested. I'm like, yeah, let's make that. So I can.
Oh, that is amazing. So, what would be the best way for people to get a hold of you?
You can follow me here on Facebook at Eboney Thompson. I am on Instagram at becoming Eboney. If you want any of the products, anything like that, they are currently on my Etsy store, which you can find that link
Okay.
in bio on Instagram. But if you go to Etsy, it's the Hustle Cafe, and
Okay.
cafe is spelled Kafaye, because y'all know I gotta be different. The Hustle Cafe. You can also find like my shirt. I went down, but it says
Yeah.
hustle by faith, not by sight.
Yeah.
That's up there. A lot of other stuff. So yeah, just contact me. I'll get back to you. Trust me.
Oh, that is so good. Well, Eboney, I want to thank you so much for being our guest today. And I can't wait. We'll be talking some more in just a minute. So let me close out the show for us today, because this has been a good day. And here we go. So thank you all so much for being with us with Refill with Preach Sista. Almost forgot where I was, but thank you so much for being with us with Refill with Preach Sista. Thank you for joining us. You can keep in touch with us through our various platforms. We are on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We have our Wow Women of the Word Bible study, and we also have our Sister Connections newsletter. So keep in touch, and until the next time we meet, which is every first and third Saturday of the month, keep the faith and care for your souls. I'm Michelle Lloyd Page, and this has been Refill with Preach Sista.